The winner of the giver for the year is Sunshine Monet.
Excuse me, give me that mic. Thank you. Anyway, first and foremost, I would like to thank myself for being amazing. Thank you, self. I would like to thank all the people I had to step on to get here, because you know, heat rises and a bitch is hot. I'm up to the top. Manifested by elements ethereal. Manifested by elements ethereal. I knew of terrestrial material. Intertwined celestial of imperial. Infiltrate. Manifested by elements ethereal. I knew of terrestrial material. Intertwined celestial of imperial. Infiltrating corporation of oppressive serial. Resilience is something like a miracle. Observing kinfolk and draconian material. The more equipped for ascension, the more one seems to be treated as inferior. Dr. Umar said, the white man's heaven here, the Asian man heaven here, the Arabic man heaven here. But the black man heaven fit. The black man heaven fit, cause it lies in death. Release from the karma debt. Release from all the stress. Release what we don't confess. In order to live, I guess we must be bodiless. Makes me wonder, if we made out of greatness most fit for this plane, then why we the most hated? Why we the most hated? Was I in court waiting for my sentence? Listening to a witness accuse me of unfitness to remain in these cosmic dimensions? Is that why we repent and we ask for forgiveness? The hours and days, they feel repetitious. Oppressive energy soaking up my minutes. Purple haze blowing smoke on my grimace. Another nobody traveling out of limits. Exiled from cosmos as penance. Or maybe this time it's just the intermission. Like Jesus chapters that went missing. Traveling and gaining knowledge between the dimensions. Christ consciousness bringing me ascension. Kundalini flows up now, where are my intentions? So don't cry for me when my time is risen. Sing some praises, cause you know that I made it. And know you're all my extensions. Yes, you're all my extensions. Peace, y'all. Welcome to the Planetary Forecast with your girl, Sunshine Monet L. This is where we talk about the planets, all the energies, all the little celestial bodies up in the sky, and how they align with the celestial bodies within. And so I am about to pull up the presentation. I figured I'd do it a little different this time because before I was doing it where I was sharing the slides, but I think this time I'm going to try to share the screen. And with sharing the screen, you guys can see my mouse, I believe. And that's really what I want. Haha. And for those of you guys on Instagram, just know you guys are kind of like backstage. So if you want to see like me in the presentation, you guys can head over to YouTube. Less Nobodies is the name of my YouTube page, and you guys can see like the whole shebang. But yeah, we did not start all the way here. Ooh. All right, boom. Planetary forecast. All right, so here, a little bit about the services that I provide. I talk about natal charts. So natal charts is like the planetary placements when you were like brought through the womb at that exact time and place. All living beings have an electromagnetic field, including the terrors of the universe. So, all those have effects on the chakra centers of oneself. You're such an infinite being because you're connected to such an infinite amount of other beings as well. So, the placements provide spiritual, mental, emotional, physical tools for one to navigate through this life. And the goal is to rise above all the cosmos and gain energetic awareness through sphere zero in the crown chakra. Natal charts are calculated by one's birth date, time, city, and state. Therefore, there are other like 80 charts. Here at Less Nobodies, we do the tropical chart, which is the zodiac energy, your mindset, how you think things are to be, how you think about yourself. And then the sidereal chart, the Vedic chart, that's your heart self, your emotions, how you feel about yourself. We also get into the draconic chart, which is your past lives. And we also do synastry charts. So, what are chakras? We're infinite beings in our physical form, and although we're in our physical form, each of our forms have mental, spiritual, emotional, etc. selves. And the spiritual selves of our physical parts are called chakras. Okay, chakra means wheel or circle of life, and it's connected to our main energy centers of the body. We also name them after deities, orishas, colors, frequencies, sounds, zodiac, animals, herbs, numbers, etc. All living elements of this universe. We could like align each of our chakras with of this universe, the last and the next. The flow of energy in a chakra is called a Shakti. Brahmins or supreme energy is responsible for the release or function of one Shakti. And the mystic aim is to take that coiled energy at the root chakra, which is your Kundalini, and release it into the Brahmin's unconscious energy. Still, the goal between whether you do it through your chakras or the cosmos is to get to sphere zero, 10, sphere 10 is sphere zero, vice versa. And in that realm, may use different things. And the Kabbalah is they have the planets, and then they have, the energies of the spheres, and then you have the planets in the middle, and you have the netherese on the side. All same concept, all connected the same way, and it's all in alignment with the chakras. And we're about to get deeper into it. Also, all chakras have a feminine and masculine side. Also, all chakras have chakras. Like, it's just like in, out, just infinite. So cool. You can study yourself forever and still not be done. And so here is the feminine and masculine side of each chakra. The feminine side as follows from root chakra to third eye chakras: Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. And then the masculine, side of each chakra from root chakra to third eye chakra is as follows: Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Leo. And we'll get deeper into this in 2.5 seconds. The outermost chakra is the crown chakra, which is above your physical self. So that's, the beyond is ruled by the universe. It's not completely aligned, but any, level masculine or feminine or universe or anything, what have you. It's literally like one. Here at Less Nobodies, we recognize 5 elements. On this presentation, I have the 4: the earth, water, fire, and air. And the zodiac energies aligned with them, and some basic energies about them. And also, if you get a one-on-one reading with me, you do get access to all of this as well on your personal slide with your personal placements, and that's fun. Also, we could get into astrocartography, where you get into, you know, where you were born at. Every planet in your space had a rising, midheaven, descending energy, over each area across the globe as we know it. And so with that energy, you know, you can kind of like make certain predictions about the different experiences you could experience there or have experienced there already. It depends on what chart you try to look at. And how your energy will be received or how you will receive energy in that particular place. Also, you can get into the natal chart of the place where you're trying to visit or you're trying to move to or do business in, and you can align your natal chart with the natal chart of that area and see, the alignments, how that, space is going to support you, how it's not going to support you, and things like that. And it's not always just like physically being there. It's also maybe communicating with some people in that area, maybe, engaging in some type of cultural, festivity or action, whatever it is that derives from that area is going to give you that kind of like energy. So that's cool. Um, yeah, you could do it with a lot of things. So this is like, the model, excuse me, this is like the heliocentric model of the planets and how they move forward. And I really like this model because it kind of like shows kind of like the clock, if you will, of like if we see the sun amongst these stars, then that must mean the earth must be amongst these stars. So because we see the sun, you know, moving towards Pisces, the earth is more so in like Cancer moving towards Leo. Yeah. And here's some zodiac energies from different cultures. You have the wealth of amber, which is more so West African culture, and that zodiac energy is from February 4th to March 5th. Blesses natives with a sense of morality well as rebellion and unique instinct. The otter is for Native American zodiac energy, and that's from January 20th to February 18th. So that's actually over tomorrow. And let me see. But for today, the otter is in alignment with the butterfly plan, which is like air energy, and it advises us to behave like children, and demand bliss and hope. Tapping into your sacral chakra or your fifth house placement, and then have fun and accept the flow of life. So tomorrow will actually be the last day of the otter. So the next energy we will come into on February 19th will be the wolf. And that's from February 19th to March 20th. This is the frog clan, which is water. And wolves are quick and elusive. And they're great at adapting and great willpower. Do not fall to influence. Wolves are omens and have great healing powers, good intuition, and bring sense to life and death. Stop. So that's the energy that starts on the 19th. And the rabbit is the Chinese zodiac for the year, and that's January 22nd to February 9th, 2024. And that's the energy of like intuition, inner peace, prosperity, and abundance, definitely. And it's kind of like a fast year because you got to think about like the way a rabbit moves. It's very swift. So, all of these days like zoom, zoom, zooming by, like, yeah. It's like last year felt like a really long year. That was the year of the ox. It was very slow. So now we can get into it. So this is the root chakra placements. This is the Muladhara, meaning root. And this is located at the base of the spine. It brings on the energy of being grounded, discipline, um, order. Okay. So yeah, this is the root chakra. It's located on the base of your spine. It brings on the energy of groundedness, discipline, order, also boundaries, authority, your basic, survival needs, resources. And then, down here, you got all the frequencies, the color wavelengths and all that. The vowel sound is A. So on the feminine side of your root chakra, you have, the energy of Asar, which is self knowledge and unity and being one with all. And the energy you have over there is Saturn, which is the energy of challenges, your seventh house, which is your bonds and your contracts, your one on one relationships. Your sun is also in this energy, which is the energy of like your ego and your experiences. And Mercury is your decision making and your ability to notice patterns. So a lot of energy and a lot of challenges in your one on one relationships is really being focused, like mentally, emotionally, intuitively on repairing some one on one relationships, finding balance in those one on one relationships, boundaries, building resources within these relationships, and like creating new foundations with people. And being in alignment with that energy is going to bring you to the masculine side, which is you could be imbalanced. You can focus on one more than the other. So, be mindful of that too. But on the masculine side, you have Seker, which is the third sphere in the tree of life. And that's the energy of power and underlying structure. That's the energy of creation and manifestation. And you have Pluto on that side, that masculine side, in your energy of experiences over here in your boundaries. And that's transformation. So transformation is going to start occurring. Of course, that makes sense. Like if you start listening to like, the challenges and started noticing the challenges and start paying attention to the patterns and things like that. And really, putting your thought process to making a change to those things, of course, there's going to be transformation on the outside. So, that just, makes sense. Also, the sixth house is over here, so it's affecting your daily routines. It's affecting what you do on a daily basis, how you go about different things, how you pay attention to detail and organize and stuff like that. And then we also started the week off with the moon over here. So intuitive experiences were also in this energy of, you know, just experiencing, either reflecting on the effect of you having boundaries or if you're still not like establishing those boundaries yet. And hopefully you've been really tapped into the wand and get this moon because I've been making like, updates and reminding y'all throughout the week. You might want to start focusing on letting some things go, some distractions go, and some things that are like, not serving you and not, doing well for you. And, requires a little bit of self honesty too. And it's okay to make space between, yourself and some things because it always makes space for it to come back as well. It doesn't have to be like a definite, this is going to be like this forever. It doesn't have to be like that. You can go, back and forth and stuff. So the next chakra is the sacral chakra, which is where your being is established. Now, this is located below the navel, above the pubic bone, and this brings on the energy of generosity, luck, wisdom. It's a pleasure seeking chakra. It brings on the energy of joy and expression, your creative self, your sensual self. And so on the feminine side of your sacral chakra, you have your Olukun, which is Piscean energy. Now, this is in alignment with Mayat. We're dealing with the fourth sphere in the tree of life, which brings on the energy of law, justice, universal love, truth, balance. We're dealing with the celestial government. When we're dealing with this, also with the number four, we're dealing with stability. So it's very important to have stability in this area. Neptune is over here in our Pisces energy as far as our tropical chart goes. So it's how we think things go, our subconscious, our thought process is all sitting in that energy of your subconscious. Your dreams probably have been very amplified lately because we have, a few more planets slowly entering this energy by the end of this week too. And we'll get into that momentarily. And and this is in the eighth house of transformation too. So of course, you tapping into your subconscious, you paying more attention to your dreams, you finding more balance in your pleasure seeking is going to bring transformation to your space. Also, we have the eighth house of transformation also in that space. So, your internal energy is telling you that you actually want to, my dog is always trying to escape out the door. Sorry, y'all. So, internally, you kind of do want a transformation in some things that you've seen joy in, or some things that some people, places, and things you've gone to for pleasure or different experiences, or, and that's fine. That's, very much in tune with the fact that the eighth house is in the sacral chakra as well. You also have Venus there. So a lot of this transformation is in the realms of, like, how you feel about self, what makes yourself feel good. Also, your priorities, because Venusian energy is also the energy of priorities, self-love, forgiveness, universal love for others. You want to get another one? So that's the energy over in the feminine side of your sacral chakra, chakra. And on the outside, your masculine, as far as your experiences go, we're dealing with the fifth house. Now, the fifth house is like your creative self, your romantic self. This is like your inner child energy. This is the Leo house. So it's like your dramatic self, the self that like calls for attention and stuff like that. So a lot of this is coming from, like, inner child being on the outside of self and taking the wheel with a lot of experiences and things because of all these things going on the inside. Like, my priorities are changing. The things that, used to make me feel powerful don't make me feel powerful anymore. Different, things being revealed about things you used to find pleasure in, that used to be pleasing to your senses, and that's creating transformation, and how pleasing it is to you now. That's different with different people, places, and things. I know it's very general, but it can be very general. Like, I could get specific, like, maybe, the person that you're with is, no longer doing it for you. So, you need there's transformation in that. That is essential, pleasure that you once had, any essential, that's experiencing transformation. Also a priority, maybe a certain business venture, because Venusian energy not only is love, but it's also wealth in your pinnacles. So working for someone, certain bonds and contracts and things, a transfer, it might not do it for you anymore. Like, oh, this doesn't bring me happiness. It doesn't bring me pleasure anymore. So you'll, seek transformation in that. And it's going to come to you in that Neptune energy, in the subconscious energy. And the thing with the Neptune energy is it goes one or two ways. That Piscean energy is two fish. It's either the one fish that's being, on one side of the scale, that's being pushed along the current and you're being told what to do and controlled, or it's the other, fish that's saying, hey, I'm the one in control. And that fish, if that fish is imbalanced, it could be the manipulator, instead of being the one that's manipulated on the other side. So, that's the balance that needs to occur with that energy as well. Are you the manipulator, or are you being manipulated? And are you going to seek transformation in that level of control and that level of power? Are you going to seek transformation in the priorities that you now realize put certain energies in control and in power that you feel like shouldn't be in control and in power, and different things like that. And it's going to come from you tapping back into, like, that simple childlike mindset. Kids make everything just seem so simple. Like, good is right and wrong is wrong, and you don't hurt people, and love everyone, and forgiveness only takes like 2 seconds, and all that different energy is like tapping that into that on your outer sacral chakra area. And also, like, on the Vedic chart of things, yeah, because I wrote it down. So if we were looking at our sacral chakra on a Vedic chart, on the Pisces side, as far as the feminine side, you have, by the end of the week, We'll have Venus, Jupiter, Chiron, Juno, Vesta, Aries, and the ninth house on that side. So you have that energy of the priorities and, what you like self love, self awareness, materialization, your pentacles, wealth, and then your generosity and wisdom of the Jupiter energy. So you're getting your pentacles from this realm, doing what you love and what feel good about. Chiron is your wounds and how you turn your wounds into a superpower. So it feels good to you to be able to do that. So that's probably where you'll be getting your pentacles from. So like, a different, examples I get for that, like say if you were a victim of certain kinds of abuse, maybe you might start an organization, or maybe you might write a book, or maybe you might, do some volunteer work, and it might lead you into a situation where like you meet something and make a great business deal. Like it could be like, long story like that, or just short and sweet. It depends on, what has to align in order for you to get what you need to get. And you have Juno, which is the bonds and the contracts, and what you need in this space to receive what you for that loyalty. Like, what do I need in a relationship for me to stay there, for me to even be in that anyway? You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of times we've been in different friendships or bonds or relationships we shouldn't have been in. And we take that second and think back, like, yo, what made me even enter that to begin with? Like, what put the rose colored glasses on my eyes to begin with? Like, what put that color over my sacral? Because that's a sacral chakra color, that salmon color, that's like, between the sacral and root chakra area with a little solar plexus energy in it. Yeah, that's definitely like, if it's a color wavelength, then it is a chakra. It's, and you can find it. But that's where that's at. So it's like, we'll put those glasses over my third eye, my three eyes. Like, what happened? So that's where you will find that at. In your Juno. Vesta also, Juno and Vesta being close together is like when you do find those bonds and those things that you're around, it is a sense of like obsession, because Vesta is your passion. It's like, what it's like it's a very like extreme passion too. So it's like, this is something that's really like sitting in your space. And then Aries is also in Pisces energy, which I think is like really cool, because Aries is the energy of rebellion, and Aries stays in one space for like 66 years or something like that. And so, it's been in, I know the zodiac energy was from 1925 to it'll be there till 2044. That's where it's at. So I think it's about around those dates, or excuse me, it'll be a little bit longer in Pisces energy. But yeah, so Aries being there is kind of like a lot of the rebellion, and a lot of the like activist energy is more towards like, this makes me feel good. This is what I want to do. Um this is becoming a priority. This is where a lot of my generosity and my wisdom is coming from, that rebellious energy. So the fact that it is in Aries in the tropical, where it's like mindset, bringing new beginnings, and then it's in the constellation of your emotions, where like it's it's in people's subconscious, like, yeah, like rebellion time, let's go. Like, that's really cool. And the ninth house is also in sacral chakra, so traveling is definitely, desirable. Also, expanding your mindset as far as like higher education, foreign education, learning about things that are not in your particular space and time, but in someone else's. Like, that's definitely feel good feelings. And that's all in the Piscean energy. There is no energy in the Sag. I don't even think there's a house there. Um, but that is the sacral chakra vibe as far as the tropical and sidereal chart goes. And we have some energy switching this week. So within this week, the sun is entering Pisces tomorrow, actually. And Venus is also entering into Aries, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So we're moving to the solar plexus chakra. Again, if you guys are on, Instagram, you guys are kind of like backstage, so you're not really getting the full presentation. But I'm probably a little bit more clear, I guess. But moving on to the solar plexus chakra, the city of jewels, Ogun rules this energy, which is, at the energy as we know it is Mars. And right now that's in Gemini. That's in the like the communication, community, your neighbors, your cousins, that kind of energy. And it's like engaging in that community, engaging in communication, technology also included, writing, not just verbal, but just like, you know, any type of communicative expression. It could be artistic as well, as long as it articulates something. That is in the 10th house, and that's in the house of success. So, people, tapping into this, it's like a burning fire to be in the community, to, be heard, to be speaking up. And that makes sense because, everybody's, all on their devices and communicating with each other, and everybody's posting themselves, communicating to themselves to the world in different ways. I'm doing it right now. And it touches the 10th house of success, and the 10th house is ruled by Taurus energy right now, which is the energy of like actually like manifesting things and beauty and love and emotional self. And so it's like it's feeling good as well, so you're bringing that feel good emotion to your solar plexus. We have Aries over there in that feminine side, which is Ogun. That is also the energy of Heracudi, which also is the same energy that's also on the masculine side of Oya. This is the enforcement of law, courage, fearlessness. We're dealing with the fifth sphere on the tree of life. On five, you're dealing with humanity as well on a numerology scale. Also dealing with five, you're dealing with the number of freedom, enforcement of celestial government and administration. Um, Chiron is over here as far as the tropical chart goes. Now we're talking about thoughts. So the thought is on like if I turn my wounds into a superpower, like that's fueling my solar plexus chakra, that's building my empowerment, my self-expression, my self-esteem, and my courage. That's the vibe that's going on there. Now Aries is also here too, and Aries is like your rebellious energy. This is the energy of your activist energy. We just talked about it being in the sacral chakra on the Vedic chart, and over here it's on the solar plexus with that Chiron bringing like like I said, say if you were a part of some type of abuse or the different like the police brutality. Now it's people outside forming marches and activists and politicians coming forth and this, that, and the third, all that happening. And then Jupiter is also over here, Olukun, being that energy of wisdom, bringing, wisdom and generosity. I always think of this energy as like that pop up that comes around and tells you an Aesop fable and it gives you quarter. So you get money and then you get like a really good story to carry with you and kind of change your behavior a little bit. And then I also love that this energy is also in that eighth house of transformation. So it does kind of like change how you move on in life, you know. And then Juno is also over here. Juno is that energy of like bonds, like like we talked about. It's in the sacral chakra on the Vedic chart, but over here it's in your solar plexus. So it's also giving you like that fuel, is fueling your fire, and it's telling you, what you need. When you're in spaces that are not giving you what you need in your bonds, you're going to feel it in your solar plexus. That means that your gut is going to tell you. You're not going to like the way that feels. Your back will also tell you because your solar plexus is also in the middle of your back. Like if you're in different spaces or you're still holding on to people, places, and things that are not, what you need in your bonds and stuff, they're going to give you pain. It's not going to empower you, your self-expression, your ability to communicate with confidence and stuff like you will be in other circles. That diminishes. You got to pay attention to all that stuff. That is like the slowdown of your solar plexus chakra because you're in this kind of company. Also Vesta is an energy also over here, again, in your solar plexus on the Veda chart, but over here is giving you passion. So when you are around that energy, when you are in that space doing what you want to do, and, find out where Vesta is in your chart, because pay attention to how it makes you feel now and the lanes it opens now versus, don't even pay attention to the verses. Stay present. Just pay attention to the lanes and everything that it opens now, because the way these planets are aligned between your sacral chakra on your Vedic chart and your solar plexus on your tropical chart, there's a nice like opening there, for you to like really manifest, you know, things just based on what you're good at, just based on what makes you happy, like just based on, you know, the skills that you came into this realm with. Like you have it. You are enough, you know. So doing that, and then the ninth house is over here too. So like expanding your thoughts, self teaching, expanding your mindset and all that stuff is definitely gonna assist you in that realm as well. Um, on the masculine side, as far as your experiences on your solar plexus chakra, still this is Oya energy, but it's still the same thing as Hero which is the enforcement of law and courage. And we're still dealing with the fifth sphere on the tree of life. So on this one, it's a couple of chakras that are like that have the same energy, as far as the Netarus. And it's okay. And the ascendant, we started off the week with the ascendant in this energy. Actually, this chart is starting for yesterday, Thursday. So it's going from Thursday to Thursday. It's not going from Monday to Monday. I figure I make it a little bit more current since I'm doing this on a Friday. But your ascendant, which is your rising sign, your temperament, this is like your physical appearance and the body you're born in. This is the energy you give off when you walk into a room. And just like little fun facts, like as far as like astronomically speaking, this is the east horizon line the sun rises at, and it changes every 4 hours. Like the zodiac energy changes every 4 hours, and this is one of the reasons why you should know what time you were born when you're trying to do your natal chart, because the ascendant actually sets the tone for the rest of the houses. Um, but we started the week off with it in Scorpio and retrograde, just giving you like, slow down certain experiences, because still, if you notice, we don't have too much energy in Scorpio. So, once the ascendant entered Scorpio, it went in retrograde because our Kundalini, our fire, is still not at 100 yet. If you go by the Netarus, even though it's starting to warm up outside and things are starting to like, melt and stuff, hey, y'all, and things are starting to melt and stuff, we're still in winter and it's still cold and it's still kind of frozen. So, we are awakening, but it's still kind of cold. It's just like the ascendant, like, it is in the solar plexus, but it is in retrograde. So it's, still kind of slow. The fourth house is also over here. The fourth house is home and family, so still kind of like that going inward energy. This is the Cancer house, the self care, the emotions. So you're still in that inward state, intuitive state, introverted state. And as far as like the Vedic chart goes, what you would have in your solar plexus chakra over there on the feminine side, we started the moon off on that side. So your intuitive energy, of your emotions is going into like what makes you feel empowered, makes you feel good. Some of you guys, filling up your calendars, making new plans, you need more clients, you need more this, you need more that, and really like engaging in that. We also had Uranus over in this energy, bringing progressive change, movements. Uranus just walks into the space and be like, all right, yeah, and that's really what's happening if you are in alignment, because the moon moves so frequently. The moon, you really have to pay attention to what's going on with it, because wherever it goes, it illuminates. And so, I will really pay attention to what other energies the moon is always nearby, because those are the ones that are now front and center, in the night, which is going inward. So with the moon, we started the week off with the moon and that progressive energy by Uranus. So, and we'll get into where the moon is going to be at all week too, so y'all can pay attention to that. And that's front and center is progressive changes around that space. The true note is also, so if you were in alignment with the moon energy, you will, true note is like the path of destination. Like it's like the port, it's like the way you're supposed to be going, according to the Kabbalah and things. And then you also have the 10th house over there. So paying attention to this energy, is bringing you to your successful self where you're supposed to be. And again, no energy really in Scorpio because even in our emotions, our solar plexus is still like, it's not time yet. It's still winter. It's not turn up time yet. We're not turning up. We get into the heart chakra, which is the anahata. The anahata means unstruck, unhurt, unbeaten. And this is located in the middle of your chest and also in between your shoulder blades. And this is the energy, the chakra that's giving off the vibe of your self esteem. When you feel good about yourself, this feels good here. When you feel good about the people you're around, it feels good. Your breath, breaths in this space, the beat in this space. When you don't feel good, it's usually where you feel a little ping sting at, or in your mid back is there too. Also, compassion and empathy and forgiveness. And then also on here, I get into like the different, shapes and the notes on the piano. Peace. Welcome to the planetary forecast. Oshun rules over the heart chakra, and right now Oshun is in Pisces. We talked about that earlier, it being in the sacral chakra. And you feel good just being in the space of your subconscious and really paying attention to, like, are you in charge? Are you allowing yourself to be in charge of your, Ocean doesn't just rule love and relationships and stuff like that, but it also rules your pentacles and your finances. So it's like, are you in charge, or are you allowing yourself to be, controlled or manipulated? And that's, the energy of those two fishes. And whichever peace, and whichever way you choose to go, that's, bringing that eighth house sense of transformation and Aquarian energy over that eighth house, which is, rebellion, detachment, innovative, revolutionary type energy. So it's just like emphasizing that Pluto vibe. It's like bringing it's like a hurricane, like the water plus air. Like it's really blowing that on there. So spirit is definitely talking, emotions on hurricane level. And you're going to feel it. You're either going to feel your own emotions, or you're going to start to feel the intensity of other people's emotions towards you when you react in what makes you feel good or what you're supposed to be doing. And it's either going to be intense emotions towards support, or to hinder you, get in your way, or make you feel bad or guilty about what you're trying to do. So it can go one or two ways. Pay attention and make decisions accordingly, because the only person you can control is you. As far as the Vedic chart goes, we talked about Venus being an Aquarius energy over there, and the root chakra, the feminine side of the root chakra. So, a lot of that is to do with the boundaries, creating boundaries, creating, discipline and order and infrastructure and stuff like that. The feminine side of the heart chakra, we're dealing with the energy of Het Heru, which is the Kundalini, the sensual forces. This is the seventh sphere, the celestial workers. We're dealing with design and imaging and all that pretty stuff. As we know, that is definitely the vibe of Oshun, pretty. Uranus is over here, that progressive changer, that pushing things to be different, individuality, in a, different approaches to people, places, and things. It's going to make you feel good. And it's going towards the ninth house, which is like your approach to your philosophies, different things, different morals might be transforming in your space. Where you seek education, or the education that you're actually receiving. And then the ninth house right now is ruled over Aries. So if you guys are engaging in traveling or enhancing your, knowledge to like the next level, higher education, etc., is going to bring you like new beginnings, new spaces. You're going to be in whole new spaces that you probably didn't even like create for yourself, because it wasn't in your imagination. Like, that's the kind of energy Aries brings. Like, you didn't even know you was gonna be over here, did you? um the true node is also over here in Oshun energy. So, following your heart is definitely taking you to the path of destiny. And that is so like, gotta put that on like a meme. Follow your heart to your destiny. And that's really like the energy in true note. And it's in retrograde, so it's slowed down a little bit for you to catch up. And let's slow walk together to our destiny and hold hands. For those of you in the back that feel like, oh my god, time is running out. No, it's not. It's still winter time. It's cool. Uranus is also a very slow moving planet, so you got some time with my guy over there too. The 10th house is also in Oshun. So, the ability to materialize the things that make your heart chakra feel good, and reminding you in a tropical chart, Oshun is in Pisces right now. So your subconscious is leading the way. The subconscious is aligned with your heart. It's, those different like downloads or daydreams or even your nighttime dreams. I'm starting to get more downloads in my nighttime dreams, but I used to get majority of them in my daytime dreams. Anyway, daydreaming. Like I'm not really asleep, but I'm just like staring at the wall. Anyway, those kind of like moments are like, when they align with your heart, with your emotions, your feelings and stuff like that, it feels good. Like, oh, I'm really gonna do that, or oh, like that really gotta happen. Like, align those, play with those. You have the power to manipulate those things. You could do that if you wanted to. You know, it's there. It's there for you to do it if you wanted to do that. There are people that know to do that are doing that. But, you know, the energy could, definitely work in your favor on that. As far as your experiences go, we're dealing with Oba, which is net het. This is the Kundalini energy. Now we're getting into sensual forces. Ceres is over here, and Ceres is like agriculture, is the mother daughter nurturing. How do you nurture others, and how do you wish to be nurtured? And that's in your experiences right now. So if you are in alignment with this true node in the 10th house and Uranus, and even your subconscious, because your subconscious is also telling you like, this is how you want to be treated, this is how you deserve to be treated, this is how you deserve to get your pinnacles. This is what this, that, and the third. Like, really pay attention to your downloads. Pay attention. Pay attention to the voice in your head. And then in your experiences, like you're gonna experience like the universe putting people, places, and things in your space that are going to help enhance that are going to help bring those into the materialized space for you. Also remember, Ceres just went in retrograde, so understand this, that it's still winter time. Be patient, be present. The expanded runs is coming. It is not here yet. And just know that when Ceres goes prograde, it's going to spend a long time in Oba energy on prograde. So you're gonna have a nice time where like the people, places, and things you wanted to manifest, how you wanted to be nurtured, how you deserve to be nurtured, and how you want to be able to nurture others and give to others is coming. And you're gonna be able to bask in it for a little while. But just, sit back and enjoy the retrograde for what it is and for however long it's gonna go. And that's what we're gonna do. Now over on the Vedic chart, Ceres is in Virgo energy, which is a vibe. So also speaking those things, because Virgo energy is at Shu, and that rolls over the throat chakra. So also be mindful. Ceres is still in retrograde, whether we're talking about tropical or Vedic. So it's still on a slow down. Be patient, be present, but speak those things, express those things. You could write them down, type them out. Any form of expression or communication. That's that Virgo energy. That's that communicative energy. So, it's going to come out your throat chakra. And then we also have the third house over here in open energy. And the third house deals with communication. Again, coming back with it. Transportation, your interests, your habits, how you interact with people in your community, like your neighbors, your siblings, and your parents, like just people like in your space. Um, and what feels good is going to, like, that's what you're going to keep doing. Like, if you're still engaging in communication that doesn't feel good, and I don't see that, because I remember seeing all those like memes and videos of like 2023, I'm blocking everybody. Like, you had that viral song of blocking everybody, and you know just removing people and all the different stuff. Like, yeah, you could do that. And so that's coming into that. That's a nice little parallel with that third house in Libra. Like, remove yourself with what does not serve you. It's going to be affecting that area of your life. So that's where you will also be receiving your nurturing, your nurture from. So that's probably where you should be focused at when you are looking at the Ceres energy. Because a lot of times you'd be like, there are certain people out there like, I just need millions and millions of strangers to look at me, and you don't pay attention to the 10 people that like be staring at your face every day and all. And you just want to come back down to that a little bit sometimes. And as far as like the Vedic chart goes with your heart chakra, over there on the feminine side in Taurus, you have Mars, so that's the aggressive, assertive energy. So that's probably like those like big, you know, those big hits you feel, on your emotions. Like, why do I really not want to deal with this today? Why? Like, it's just like so much. Like, it's to the point where now it really feels like your heart is like taking the wheel, like your emotions taking the wheel. It's becoming like a really, intense war now to go against your feelings. And also, not just, being assertive and, whatever motivation, it's also like following your strong desires. Like, listening to your heart, your desires are really right there on the forefront and letting you know, like, this is really what you want to do. This is really what you should be doing. This is really what's going to get you going. It doesn't matter if you really believe in yourself. Like, all you have to do is believe. Um, didn't know that was a thing. Thought it was just me and a few others. Yeah, yeah, it is a thing. It could, I mean, I don't know. It might be like a thing amongst like, a little bit of people, but also in the masculine side, in that Oba energy, we have the rising sign. So it's showing over yourself, your temperament, your overall being, how you feel when you walk in a room. So you think you may be in a space where you can still mask those emotions and stuff, but that Mars is telling on you. It's in your temperament when you walk in a room that you don't want to be there, or that you really want to be there, or that you're, nervous, or not trusting, or you're excited, or whatever. Like, that's showing on you. It's showing on you. So you're not really hiding it, and that can either work for you or not work for you, depends on how you view it. But if you don't want to be somewhere, don't force yourself. That's no fun. Getting into the throat chakra, that's the Vishuddha, and that's the pure element. That's the mouth, tongue, neck, ears. You're talking about your thyroid, your parathyroid, and this is like ruling all your forms of communication, invocation, and you can also say like it rules over your hands to a certain extent because of the Beji twins, Gemini energy. Some of those stars rule your hands and your shoulders, and then Virgo energy is Earth, so materialize with your hands. So that's another vibe. And then also you be writing stuff and typing stuff, communication. And the energy that rules over SU right now, well, the energy that SU is in, which is Mercury, is in Shango, which is Aquarius energy. It's in that cardinal energy of Aquarius energy too. So these are like the pioneer energy of rebellion is still on the forefront. So for those of you guys that, have already started like, pushing forward your agenda, trying to get people on a certain mindset, heart set, spiritual set, or whatever, and you feel like you're alone, it's a little bit longer. You guys are the pioneers. You guys are in the cardinal energy of that, or you're still in the cardinal energy of being rebellious or innovative or revolutionary in a certain area. So you're still getting cardinal energy in return. Like, hey, I know you feel like you've been doing this for like 39 days or something, but like, we're still in the beginning. And also that's also a reminder that we're still in that winter time. It's cool, like, chill out. And that's applying to your daily routines of the sixth house. As far as our Vedic chart goes, Mercury is in Capricorn energy, Baba Way, which is the energy of discipline, orders, boundaries, speaking those boundaries into existence, speaking those resources and things that you need into existence. Like, this is the space and time to do that. And that's also applying to your everyday routine and your health and your habits. Over there on the feminine side of your throat chakra, we have Mars over there in the 11th house. And Mars being the motivator. Like, okay, so you got Mars over there in your what chakra did I say? Oh, in your heart chakra on your Vedic chart, but then you have Mars in your throat chakra on your tropical chart. So like, not only is your temperament not covering well for you, your mouth not covering that well for you neither. Like, it's literally like, all over you. You going to speak your emotions. It's gonna be hard to keep biting your tongue and stuff, but it's okay. Like, all that different stuff you were afraid that was gonna happen and stuff like that. If it's gonna happen, let it happen. Because once it happens, you'll be surprised. It'd be like that thing, like that one thing you need to happen, and you just won't do it because you're just so scared. Like, oh my God, but if I do this one thing, like the world is gonna fall apart. And the universe is like, come on, just jump, bro. Just do it. The fuck? It's literally one thing. You're not even happy there. Like, you don't even want to be there. Like, why won't you just let this thing go? And then you finally get let go, and then all this shit just starts hitting you. Like, everything that you wanted just starts coming to you, and like, all along, you only had to do that one thing. Like, I was like, so wild. And that's how it's been for me. And like, letting go of certain people, saying the word no, learning the word no, which was a word that, I was taught when I was like a toddler, but also taught to stop saying it after a while too. Like, once you learn the word no, you start responding no, no, no about things you don't want to do. Then you start getting in trouble for saying no, right? And then it teaches you to stop saying no, right? So then you're an adult trying to learn how to say no again. And it's like, see, look, that's all you have to do. Like, that one little thing. And you was not trying to do. You wasn't trying to tell this person no. You wasn't trying to tell this thing no. And because of that, you just over there being miserable. It be like that. But now it's getting to the point, see the placement of Mars between the tropical and Vedic chart is getting, it's getting difficult to bite this time. But just letting you know, like, whatever's supposed to happen, just let it happen. Because that 10th house is literally right there. And is ruled by, is it covered by like Taurus energy. Taurian energy is all about the pinnacles, beauty and pleasure and forgiveness and love of self and love of other people. It's like, soon as you do that crazy thing, like soon as you jump off the cliff, like the cliff look crazy from where you standing at. Like, you see fire and flames, you hear people screaming, it's wild. Like, you're like, nah, bro, I'm not jumping off that cliff. And people is floating in the sky, and they like, bro, like, trust us. You said you wanted this, just jump. And then you finally jump, and when you jump, you realize that the flames wasn't flames, they were just party lights. And you just jumped on some marshmallows, and life is great. And you eating snacks and shit. It's tacos everywhere. Like, that's all you had to do all along, was just jump. Yeah, that's basically what that is. Don't be that guy that never eats the tacos. The 11th house is also over here, so the subconscious will let you know when to eat the tacos. The second house is the only energy we have on the masculine side of our throat chakra, and that's because we are still in winter time. Mind you, this is not the time of materialization and harvesting and all that techie stuff yet, because we still haven't awakened fully our solar plexus chakra. So if we're not awakened here, like, this ain't gonna start like making stuff yet, but it is time to put those internal energies into motion. And that's why there's so much energy placed on our feminine side of our chart right now, as far as like as a collective goes on a universal level, because it's that season, it's that time going inward and really like putting things into play, waking up our kundalini, disciplining our diet and stuff again, like people going on their fast, slowly working out again, just getting, waking up, slowly waking up their internal self. And then, when the time comes, because our Leo is rising, and we're about to get into that because we done made it to the third eye, y'all. Our Leo is rising. We're dealing with third eye energy with Ajna, command beyond wisdom. This is located between the eyebrows, and this brings the energy of polarity, the inner and outer self, intuition, your mind energy center, and foresight. Now you have your sun, which is Heru, on one side, and your moon offset on the other side. So you got your creative and spiritual side, and your logical and rational side, and imagination. So the third eye governs both of those sides. It's not one side over the other. And Heru gives off the energy of Leo vibes, and this is Automila, and this is the sun. And on the tropical chart, the sun, which is our ego, how we see ourselves, our self purpose, and how others see us, like our masculine energy and how we interact, our experience, our power, our energy. Right now, is sitting in Aquarius energy, so it's still pretty like it's in a revolutionary energy. being innovative, coming up with new ways to do things. You see a lot of different like little doohickeys coming out as far as like, spring is springing, and people are starting to plan again, and people, I don't know. It's like as far as the third eye goes, I mean, I don't really want to talk about it on Instagram. I don't hold you. I don't want to talk about it on YouTube either. I'd rather talk about it in person. But y'all know where I'm going with it. It's people doing stuff outside. And from the third eye chakra, just being very innovative with it, and all these different, award shows to do with that. And that's in the seventh house. That's in, your bonds and your contracts, the contracts you have to sign to do these things, these innovative things. And I'm about to my IG is about to go off, and then I'm gonna put it back up again. Um as far as the Vedic chart goes, though, our sun is also in Aquarius. So our emotional and our logical self are in alignment in our third eye, and that is really fun because that, like, hold on, I'm going to exit out and re-enter because that, to have, your emotional and mental self to be in alignment, it's just like, it's a relief. It's a bit of a relief there. Like, you know, to have a tug of war with how you feel and what you think sucks, honestly, at this point, it's really just your indoctrination that would get in your way. And I'll tell you why. So, over here on the sun side of yourself, you have it's ruled by Urumila or Heru, which is the will, courage, discipline, your lower self. Excuse me, guys. The sixth sphere of the tree of life. And that's when we're dealing with coordination and balance, all right, with the celestial government. And what we have over here on this side, we have Lilith, which is your repressed emotions, the things that you repress about yourself that you feel like other people should repress about them because they're, it's just dislikable traits or whatever. And then also like your temper triggers, your primal energy, how you assert yourself and stuff. All that stuff is your Lilith energy. So, that rebellious energy to go against, I don't really want to do this no more, really going against the things that, you have been indoctrinated to do. And like I said, the sun is in tropical and in sidereal Aquarius right now. Even though it's about to exit Aquarius, the fact that it's just in both these areas right now, it's like a really strong sense of clarity for the next few days until tomorrow. Like, a really strong sense of clarity, a lot of synchronicities because like I'll tell you, like all day long I finally went out to do the stuff that was on my mind to do. And while I'm doing them, we just kept running into all these different numbers, like trucks that had like different slogans and stuff that were in alignment with our thoughts and different businesses that we have and our business names. And it was just really cool. And a lot of that is, that alignment stuff. Like if you find yourself going against what your, subconscious, your intuition is telling you, like your emotions is going to be attached to it. You're going to be angry with yourself. You're going to be angry in the space. And and we said like your ascendant is over there in that space, and so is your throat chakra. I mean, so is Mars, which is also in your throat chakra. So that just sounds like a whole like that sounds like a whole bunch of stuff you just don't want. Like just listen. Just listen. Like it's okay to go against the grain. It's okay to do things that you've been trained, because it wasn't really taught. It was more like training. You've been trained to engage in these things, and it can trigger you to see other people like, oh, why you get to do this? Why you get to have this life? Why you get to do it? And it's because you secretly want that life too. You secretly want those things for yourself too. And when I speak to y'all, I swear I'm speaking to myself, because I be having, like I posted earlier, this week, my relationship with money or whatever, and how I feel about certain things. And it's like, I don't be mad at nobody or whatever. I just don't like, that talk about money. And it's not because I want to have that talk about money. That's not the energy I want to put out, but I do need money to do stuff that I want to do. I just don't want to give off that image with it. I never want to give off that image because it's not something that I feel like, oh, I'm proud of this. Like I don't like that energy. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, so that's, one of my, Lilith energies or whatever. You can find out where Lilith is in your chart and like really pay attention to the different stuff that triggers you and just ask yourself, like, does this trigger me because it's something that I secretly like want to be a part of or I want to indulge in or whatever, stuff like that. And then, Lilith is also in alignment. It's also in Cancer and the sidereal and the tropical chart. So you're getting the same energy there regardless. So it's going to give you the same answer. And that's a relief. The first house is also in Leo energy. As far as the on the Vedic chart, the first and second house are in Leo energy. So you get your pentacles and your value and your priorities and sense of self and your temperament and your self influence and how you influence a room and stuff. All that is in this outer energy. It's coming out of your third eye. So it's like the ability to like communicate through your brain is enhanced right now amongst you and other people you're just like naturally in alignment with, and that's exciting. A lot of just like staring at someone and having a full-blown conversation. I like it here because who you are, how you are, where you are, how in alignment you are with your third eye is going to affect how you affect the room when you walk into it, how you you know introduce yourself, how you make other people feel, how you make yourself feel. The midheaven is also in Leo energy, and the midheaven enter well yeah, the midheaven entered Leo today on the Vedic chart. So now there's an alignment between the third eye with the midheavens, which is so exciting. So right now, well, no, not exactly because the Lilith is not in Leo. Anyway, but the midheaven being over here too, like you tapping into your third eye, letting your subconscious, and we talked about this with the sacral chakra placements and stuff like that, but allowing your subconscious to lead the way, it's definitely going to, lead you to success and things of that nature. And this is in the 12th house, so it's like your dreams, your emotions, learning stuff about your past life, people's secret agendas and enemies and imagination and stuff like that. All that coming out to the forefront. Fun, fun, fun stuff. And then, of course, we got the crown chakra, which is ruled by the universe. It's not one planet or anything like that. And now we can get into this. So the comments are starting to disappear now. We're in a space now where the comments are starting to disappear. Oh yeah, one more thing. Hold on, 1 second. I wanted to read the Kabbalah thing for Pisces since the sun is entering Pisces tomorrow. So Pisces is also called Adar. And Pisces completes the astrological cycle that begins with Aries. It is a central column of the water signs and is controlled by two planets, which is Jupiter and Neptune. Jupiter controls two signs, which is Pisces and Sagittarius. And these 2 months, Adar and Kislev, are characterized by the tremendous miracles that took place because of the energy of Jupiter. Sagittarius marks the miracles of Hanukkah. Adar coined the miracle of Purim, created by Esther, Mordecai, and the unity between the Jews and Shushan and Persia. This togetherness and mass effort of unconditional sharing caused the miracle that prevented the total extermination of the Israelites in Persia under rule. Jupiter is the planet of success, miracles, expansion, and the metaphysical vessel of our extension of our spiritual ability. The second planet that rules Pisces is Neptune, which was discovered only in the 19th century as the planet to rule the abstract. The planet itself has no boundaries or limitations. It is surrounded by gas and it controls intuition, imagination, creativity, and art. And it provides us with the ability to see and understand beyond our five senses. The combination of these two planets is a very powerful and emotional ability. They are remarkably sensitive and vulnerable with the strongest intuition of any sign. They are very deep people, whether it comes to opinion, thought, or inspiration. Pisceans have an uncanny talent for sensitivity towards others, for they can truly enter a person's heart and mind and experience the pain and suffering of others. They have the metaphysical ability to predict the future, and they can often be psychic and clairvoyant. Many Pisceans have a gift for mathematics, science, and metaphysics. Albert Einstein was a Pisces. Oh. The symbol for Pisces is two fish swimming in opposite directions. The fish swimming against the stream represent the powerful Pisces potential. They could be sharks as charismatic and strong leaders with vision and clarity about the leadership that can guide an entire nation, like Moses, who was also a Pisces. But those Pisces who prefer to go with flow can be weak people who can get carried away and are prone to addictive patterns of behavior. Adar is known for the holiday Purim. According to the sages, it will be the only holiday that will continue to be celebrated through the world after the Messiah comes. When Adar begins, joy enters, as the famous Hebraic phrase goes. It is the month of happiness, miracles, and wonders, and it affords us the ability to achieve mind over matter, to overcome our doubts, and connect to the light. Adar is the only month that represents itself in a single calendar because of the difference between the lunar and the solar year. The sages add an extra Hebrew month to the lunar year in order to balance the two. The instance occurs randomly 7 times every 19 years. When we experience the month of Adar, we are given an extra dose of powerful energy. Last of the feminine months is the 6th month of Libra in the Kabbalistic New Year. And I got lost on that reading. I won't lie to you. Okay. My bad, y'all. I wanted to read it, but then life was like, yeah, you shouldn't have read that. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna do the daily forecast during the daily time. I'm gonna be back. Give me like a 45-minute break, and I'll be back. I gotta go catch Roxy on Preneur Starseed. My girlfriend Danielle is on, so if y'all wanna check out Preneur Starseed on YouTube with me, y'all can come join me. But I'm finna be out real quick. I'll be back. Hola, I shall return.